Welcome back. We have for you here another session of Eliza, the new Zachtronics story-based game that I've been playing a chapter per night since I got it earlier this week on release. Last session we decided to pass the evening by going baking with our boss. Some truths came out in the Skandar organization about the fact that we were trying to secretly work in the company after having previously worked there to develop the Eliza application as an engineer. We had some behind-the-scenes tours, and ultimately it feels a little bit better now that the truth is on the table. The CEO himself knows us. He's almost begging us to come back, and please, Evelyn, won't you come back? Won't you work for me again? Yada yada yada. So that's pretty much most of what went on that week. There wasn't a lot of connection or follow-up to the gig that we went to with Nora, to see her do her thing from the night before. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at now. Alright. Just got one or two little tweaks to make on here first. And it looks like we are good to go. Let's just get straight into it. It's such a nice day. They've been quite heavily laboured on the fact that it always rains in Seattle this entire game, and how foggy or misty or unpleasant the weather in Seattle constantly is. So it's nice to subvert that for a change. When did it get so warm? I thought it was still winter. There's a breeze from over the water, making the leaves rustle gently. Everything smells nice. Why haven't I been taking advantage of this beautiful day? I should be out here walking along the waterfront. There is calm and peace and contentedness. Now I see how special this is. I think it wasn't always this way, but it's hard to tell. I know I was having problems at one point, but that was long ago. When was that? I can't remember. This moment in time seems to stretch to infinity. It has always existed. It will always exist. Unchanging. Perfect. The surface of that lake is such a brilliant blue. Whoa, where did the sound go? A blue I could lose myself in. Forever blue.
Well, what do you think?
And you're back in the room.
It was nice. It was like I could close my eyes and feel myself in another place. But I didn't completely lose awareness of the real world. It was more like a mental state that I was experiencing.
remarkable technology, isn't it? I've had others who tried it tell me it's akin to a state of higher consciousness. Aware but totally serene, totally peaceful.
Soren retrieves a bottle of whiskey from a liquor cabinet and serves himself.
Here's a thought experiment for you. Say there was a certain medical procedure that could remove your suffering. No side effects, no cost, just an operation that would make you permanently happy. Would you get it? You have these philosopher types arguing you shouldn't do that because sadness and suffering are part of what it means to be human.
Damn right.
Or that the happiness you'd experience isn't real, so it doesn't count somehow.
Yep.
What a load of bullshit. If there was something effective at taking my pain away, and otherwise harmless, I would take it immediately.
Depends on your definition of otherwise harmless.
I refuse to believe that being alive means having to suffer.
His voice is getting so ragged. How many drinks did he have before he came here?
Oh, forgive me, I forgot to ask. Would you like some scotch as well?
I think I'll go sober on this one, thanks.
I'm okay.
Soren holds up the bottle, examining it.
The Glencadam. Beautiful, light, luminous taste. Not peaty at all. Lovely stuff. Ah, if only psychotherapy worked as well as a single glass of well-made whiskey, huh?
Yeah, I'm suggesting it doesn't.
If alcohol wasn't poison, I wouldn't have to invent anything now, would I?
Interesting thought.
I do think we did some good work at Skanda, but I always knew there were going to be limits to the Eliza approach. I was a counseling psychologist for a long time, you know. I understand the shortcomings better than anyone. So much of it can feel like a waste of time, talking through everything, dredging up the past over and over again, trying and failing to change our habits and routines. It's all going to look completely ineffectual compared to what comes next. With direct stimulation and induced dreaming, we can take control of our own brains in a way that's never been possible before.
Okay.
There's no reason we couldn't just eliminate this epidemic of despair for everyone in the world. Imagine it. Anger, depression, emptiness, anxiety, jealousy, every kind of unhappiness you can think of, obsolete. And to think Raynor wanted nothing to do with this.
I'm gonna suggest use Raynor to promote my own ideas here. Well, I think he thought it was a bad idea, right?
He thought it was a bad idea.
Raynor's one of the ones who thinks negative emotions are important. He told me he thinks pain should be regulated, not eliminated. After all, why would anyone write a poem or make art if they only felt happiness? He also said he was afraid of the way it would look in the media. A company as large as Skanda coming out with a product that changes the brain to make you happy.
Correct.
All the sorry excuses we have for public intellectuals today would throw a fit about how dystopian it looked to them. It's better if a small startup takes the fall, if public opinion turns against this technology. That's the kind of calculus he was doing. Those are the objections he claimed to have, at least. There's another one I suspect he had too, though.
What's that?
If people are self-sufficient, they don't need an ongoing support system. A system provided by an all-knowing paternalistic presence like Skanda.
Wait, you think Raynor wants people to stay miserable so they stay dependent on mental health services from his company?
Yes. Yes, I do.
And I'm gonna cut you off right there.
It's quite the accusation, I know. Not something I'd come out and say in public. Not yet, anyway. But you see, the people who come to Eliza regularly, it's part of their lives now. The more they integrate with Skanda's mental wellness tools, the more they'd be adrift without them. That's the real dystopia, don't you think? Rendered helpless without the guidance of computer algorithms. Total dependency on the system. Excuse me for 1 second.
Soren hurries out of the room for some reason, leaving me with questions echoing in my head. Like, how many has he really had to drink? Would I want my suffering removed completely? Is it better to leave it alone? Of course it's better to leave it alone. If you don't suffer, how do you learn? So we have a message from Erland. Hey, do you think I could ask about Damien? Oh boy, here we go. Sure. What do you want to know about him? Like, what kind of person was he? You're asking me to describe him? If you're okay with that, I don't want to make you, if it's uncomfortable, but it would help me to know what he was like. Anything to help you, Erland. Okay, so he was a brilliant software architect and engineer, one of the most sincere people I ever met. He believed people were fundamentally good and wanted to help them. And our digital therapy project wasn't a mandate from management. We started it ourselves. Damien went through some difficult times himself. He wasn't able to get the care that he needed. That's why he wanted to change things. I wish he'd gotten the chance. I see. Thank you. This is gonna sound weird, but sometimes when I'm working late and I doze in the office, I have dreams about him. I never met him in real life, but it's like I sense his presence there. Like he encoded himself into the system in some way. I know it's just my mind playing tricks on me. I don't believe in ghosts. I believe you're weird. Evelyn. Seems restrained for him. Maybe he's cut back. Seriously, there's like 5 bottles, oh no, 4 in a cocktail mixer. Reminds me of the art in the counselling room. Knowing Soren, this is probably by some famous artist and cost him a fortune. Soren likes this style of decor, I forget what it was called. It's modern, from around the middle of the century. There's a term for that, isn't there? Kitsch. It's not minimalist, is it? Yeah. Oh, geez, here we go. Soren comes back in the room and immediately pours himself another glass of whiskey. He doesn't seem to notice he's filled it almost all the way to the top. This is a bad sign.
Evelyn, I really think you, of all people, might understand what I'm trying to do here.
Hick! I'm not sure that I do, or I get it, but I get it, but...
I get it, but you don't think it's dangerous. You're essentially making technology that changes what people think is real.
Evelyn, you're much more concerned than you used to be about this kind of thing. I remember when you would dive headfirst into anything that held a promise, even a fleeting one, to help humanity.
Let me see about that. Did I learn a lesson along the way?
What changed your mind to make you so wary, so skeptical now?
Can I ask you something, Soren? What did you tell Damien?
Oh, this again. Don't tell me we had all of this wonderful conversation tonight, and now you're trying to blame me for Damien. Who put you up to this? Was it Nora? Rayner?
Oh, jeez. Paranoia much?
I just want to know the truth, Soren.
Nobody thought we could do it. You remember that. There was skepticism from day one. I had to defend us constantly from other project managers who didn't like that we existed, who wanted our budget and resources for themselves. Some of those were vicious, vicious fights. Amid all that, I had to be a leader, too. Part of that meant giving everyone on the team accurate information. So I was honest in saying there were forces that sought to kill our project. And I was honest when I said we'd never survive if we didn't have something to show for our work. That was the reality. Without a product, we would be nothing. A guy like Rayner has access to anything he wants. If your pitch and demo isn't in the top 1% of what's out there, why would he be interested? That's what we were up against.
So many mornings, I would get into work and see Damien there. At first, I thought he was getting up earlier than me, but then I noticed he was still wearing the same shirt from the day before. Then, one morning, I got in and...
Oh, you found him.
Evelyn, please. I wanted everyone on the team to be healthy. I think that's so obvious it doesn't need to be said, but I'll say it now if you think I was deliberately trying to harm him. Did I instruct you to work until you injured yourselves? No, absolutely not. It was a tragedy, and I'm very sorry that it happened. I wish it hadn't. But I wasn't telling Damien to pull all-nighters. He was an adult. He made his own decisions about how he was going to work.
Oh my god, you're really gonna try and wash your hands with this.
And besides, what about your role in all this? If you noticed him not taking care of himself, you could have mentioned it.
You were his boss, and you're supposed to be a freaking psychologist, and you didn't notice. You absolute twat.
None of that behavior was unusual for Skanda anyway. It was part of our reputation, part of the culture. There isn't a single cause you can isolate in a case like this.
Sitting in one place for too long. Chronic stress. Both of those are risk factors.
Evelyn, I'm truly, truly sorry about what happened to Damien.
And you are trying to insist that you bear no guilt for it. That is not the sign of somebody that's sorry.
He had a bright future, and it was a shock to all of us. But the answers here aren't simple ones. Dwelling on it isn't going to bring him back. Nor is discussing the huge number of potential causes of pulmonary embolism.
What? Hang on, pulmonary, that's like... So he didn't kill himself, it was a blood clot that killed him. He sat there until his blood flow
It happened,
seized up.
and now we have to move on.
Okay, that's a weird punchline.
It felt like everything stopped. All of the work we were doing might as well have crumbled into dust. We were trying to build something to help the world, and we got lost along the way. What was the point? There didn't seem to be a point any longer.
I know that you cared about him. The process of grief can go on for some time, but you're taking the right steps. You're regaining your sense of purpose, aren't you? The experience of suffering is what makes us want to end suffering. It's late and I've had quite a bit to drink, so I'll tell you a secret, Evelyn.
Oh god, it's not going to be about his penis, is it?
I said I want to end human suffering, which makes me sound very altruistic.
Maybe.
But I'm not doing it for humankind. I'm doing it for myself. I have nothing. I've ruined every relationship I was ever in. I hardly ever see my kids, and, well, they hate me anyway.
Because you're a creep?
I want to end my own suffering, but I can't bring myself to do it the traditional way. That's why I pursued this technology. That's why I want it to exist. The idea that everyone else could use it too, it's just a bonus.
Oh, sad and pathetic. Do I start showing him sympathy? Is he going to turn it back on me? Yeah, let's risk it.
Soren, are you okay?
No, not at all. I'm aware of that. I'm not a good person, Evelyn. Neither is Raynor, of course, but at least I'm honest with myself about that. So, now that that's all out in the open, you probably want to head home before it gets too late. Don't let me keep you.
Oh.
Yes, I'll get going. I hope you can feel better.
No, I'll be fine. Just, please, consider it, Evelyn. You and I are both more familiar with pain than we might wish to be. What if you could take that away? Each of us has a destiny to fulfill. I truly believe that. I'm sure yours will come into focus soon.
Somehow that conversation ended up being very draining. Is the promise of that new technology really all that keeps him going? Such a typical thing. Everybody on their phone. Security. I think I've seen this person before. He must have a similar commute. Maybe he works at Skanda too. Some days it feels like the whole city does. He's watching something and smiling to himself. The phone tips in his hand, allowing me a glimpse of the screen. It's a cat video. There's no need to rush. Soft noise, beautiful picture, let's relax. And then... Mail comes in from the contractor experience team. Let me see if I can fix the audio levels. Okay, 1 2 1 2. Let's see how this does. 1 2 1 2 testing. Everybody, who can you hear me better now? Alright. Reading away. Swift Mail. Contractor experience team, how are we doing? Hello. At Skanda, we continuously strive to provide meaningful and empowering work environments for all of our individual contributors, including contractors like you. To that end, we periodically survey this group in order to better understand how we can further enhance the Skanda experience. We are interested in your feedback regarding your experience as a contractor for Skanda in the contract proxy position. If you wish to participate in the survey, simply reply to this message. Thanks. Contractor Experience Team, Workplace Development Division, Human Resources, Skanda, Inc. Now, here's the interesting thing. Even if I wanted to, I cannot reply to this message. Yep, it's read-only mail. Nice. Right, proxy, Mark Forus. All good things. Well, everyone, today is my last day at Skanda. What can I say? It's the end of an era. When I joined this place, it was just a hope, a dream, a vision. To stop, to look back, to see how much we've accomplished in the last 2 decades is mind-boggling, to say the least. Okay. Oh, hold on a minute. Mark Forrest, wasn't that the guy who we had in a previous session? I'll miss the old crew and everyone who was in the trenches with me. You know who you are. Remember the insane BlackBerry rambles around campus that people would get serious cuts from? The time the network broke and Raj had to host all of our internal docs from his garage? The time we tried to roll out the big Polaris update, right as the worst windstorm in a decade hit. Yeah, that's the guy. This is the guy I identified with, and they've sacked him for being angry. Okay, old Skanda hands also know how to mass email everybody at the company, even though IT believes they turned off that feature. Sorry, Stuart. I wish I could say it was all smooth sailing, but as with any job, there were times of friction, times where it seemed to me that the very clear, obviously correct path was not as apparent to others. I value a spirit of openness and candor in my interactions, and thought everyone else here did too. But as we grew, I suppose it was inevitable that we would take on a larger and larger group of people with an entirely different communication style that I'm used to. In regard to certain specific instances, I would like to apologize to anyone I may have offended in the way that I presented my views. That's a lot more measured than it was when he was talking to me. For those of you asking where I'm headed to next, the answer is nowhere yet. I'm gonna spend some time with my family before I think about my next act. It's a different world out there now, with new challenges and new horizons. Maybe this old dog will learn some new tricks in time. Thanks for being the best engineering team in the world. I'm proud to have served alongside you. Excelsior, Mark. And to my chatter in the stream, Excelsior, yeah, it's a D&D guy, isn't it? Okay. So he's a goner. Back in the office. Time to get to work. Ah, it's this guy again. Okay. Hello.
Hello, Harriman.
Yes. We can just get down to it.
Sure, we can do that.
We gave him beta blockers, didn't we?
What brings you here today?
I haven't got laid yet.
It's okay to tell me what's on your mind.
Well, I slept with Sylvia.
Oh! Ha ha ha!
To think I was so nervous about approaching her that I went and got therapy here.
Don't tell me he wants his money back.
A week later, we happened to be in the library, and I just started talking with her. We talked, and then everything just happened. Like a train, following tracks laid out for it years ago. Crazy thing. Craziest thing. Now I'm confounded. Absolutely confounded. How did that happen?
You're coming and asking Eliza how
But
that
also,
happened?
why did it happen?
These aren't answers that Eliza is ever going to give you. Jeez.
I'm thinking, was something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Did she do something wrong? Did she think I was another person?
What?
I have no idea if we have a relationship now or what. It happened so fast. I mean, it was wonderful. It felt so right, but now what? I'm actually more frightened now than I was before. I should probably say something, right? Text her or something? What do I do? What if she ignores me? What if she decides to pretend I don't exist?
It seems to me you're afraid of something.
Yes. I'm quite worried. Vexed. Terrified, really. What do I do? I need to say something. Follow up somehow, right? In the Heian period of classical Japanese history, you were supposed to send a poem. A morning after poem.
Morning after poem. Beautiful. We've got something up here. Multimodal senses picking up on the increased agitation in the subject.
Is that too stuffy? I don't appear like some ridiculous court noble. Something casual is better, right? Hey, how are you? Did you have fun? I sure did. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what a stat it is right now. There's another problem too. Another really big problem. How do I tell Liz?
Oh. What?
Wait, of course, I'm not going to tell her. That would hurt her. Did I mention this last time? I have a sort of girlfriend.
End session.
Liz is nice. The kind of person everyone approves of. Well, I should probably marry her. Yeah. I suppose I might have taken a bit of a sledgehammer to the pillars of my life at the present moment. Why did I do that? I keep coming back to my own inability to explain myself.
Inability to keep your pee-pee in your trousers, you fraud.
Why do you think you're unable to explain yourself?
Well, because I thought Sylvia was so wonderful, and it turned out that she liked me too. And I mean, I'd love to pursue a relationship with Sylvia without harming Liz. I'm not sure that's possible, though, right?
It was possible if you'd broken up with Liz before you tried to pursue anything you ignored. Oh,
I can't believe this. I got what I wanted, and it ruined my life.
And that's the takeaway from this.
What do I tell Liz? She doesn't deserve someone like me who does things like this.
Okay, that I can agree with.
I ruined it. Ruined everything.
Can you describe what you mean when you say you ruined everything?
Well, what is there left now? I've overturned my entire existence in one night. The real problem here is Sylvia, the whole situation with her.
No, the real problem here is you.
I can't stop thinking about her now. It's bad. Oh, it's bad. It's constant. It's relentless. Even now, I can still feel her, smell her.
Oh, please don't tell me you came over here from the library.
You're a computer. You don't know what that's like, do you? I need a way to forget this. I need a way to put all that out of my mind. My brain is completely out of order. I'm being punished. And the punishment reaches cosmic levels of irony for me. Do you know why? I used to hate, absolutely hate, self-pitying novels by men who were messed up over a relationship and couldn't get over it. Oh, she was wild and beautiful. Oh, a force of nature. Nobody could understand her, etc., etc. I thought I was so much better than those types of writers. And now? Oh, yes, I get it. Oh, I understand it now. So much pain.
Oh my god, no. Just stop.
Why did you think you were so much better than those types of writers?
Because it was such a cliche. Now I'm wondering, am I going to be next? Is that my fate?
That's what you're wondering.
Am I
Brilliant.
going to become the next straight, male English professor whose one published novel is about not being able to get over a girl? Ugh, you have to be kidding me. I can't allow myself that fate. had something better to pursue, didn't I? I have to write about something else. My life has to be the story of something else, but I don't know where to go from here.
There's a window just to your right there. Just lean over, open it, throw yourself in the window. We'll say no more.
I need to try to get over this. I need to get over her. I must. Yes, I must. There's no way I'm going to let this ruin everything. If I tell Liz everything and apologize sincerely and strike the memory of Sylvia from my mind, I still might save this. It will take great care and cunning, but I may be able to wend my way through this treacherous path I now find myself upon. Even though I fear at any moment I might slip and tumble into the crevice below.
When you say the crevice below, what do you mean exactly?
Dead. Dead. Never seen or heard from again. Oh, sweet, dark death.
Oh, the hits just keep on coming, don't they? So, in response to this Muppet, we're going to suggest that he uses an app called Meadowlands. I'm trying to remember the last person that we prescribed this one for. Wasn't it for the anger management?
Harriman, I'm going to suggest you try a program called Meadowlands. It may help you take your mind off things.
Mm-hmm.
You can find it inside the Skanda Wellness app on your phone. Try it for about 15 minutes each day, in the morning or evening.
Meadowlands. I'm off to the Meadowlands. Familiar ground, grass and warmth. Reverting to my childhood, a state of nature. Yeah, this is a good recommendation. Yes, you are a genius, in fact. You, a computer program, wiser than you know. I'm sure this is exactly what I need. To revert to a state of wonder at this moment when the mundane world and all its entanglements seem too much to bear.
You will get a reminder to check in with us in a few weeks.
I'll be back sooner than that if this works.
We hope to see you back soon, Harriman. Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner. Goodbye.
See you. Yes, yep, see you.
Wow. I know I'm supposed to keep it confidential, and I will, but sometimes I really wish I could talk to people about the clients that came through here. Because that guy was an asshole. Just utter asshole. Alright. Evelyn, hey, just closed the next round of funding. Asia Pacific Investment Group. They're keenly interested in this technology. Imagine the potential size of the Asian market for something like this. Staggering. Congratulations. Thanks. Of all of the projects I've worked on, I have a strong feeling about this one. That it's going to go far, really make a dent in the universe. Wouldn't you rather do that than crunch numbers for Rainer? I don't know what I want to do. All he wants is to quantify everything. He'll never understand there are some things you can't reduce to a number. How are you feeling right now? 1, 5, or 2.3? After that douchebag just come across in front of me, definitely a 1. See, it's ridiculous. No, I gave you an answer. It's not ridiculous. Come on. The idea that feelings can be reduced to these simple data points. I'm glad I don't work for him anymore. Direct stimulation provides much more rich, complex information. So many ways to study it too. Imagine what you could do with a corpus of raw sensations, notions, images, ideas, sensations. Hey, you there? so tempting to say I stopped paying attention a while ago. Okay. Head into another meeting. Chat with you later. Okay, let's have a look around the room. I hope this one is getting enough light in its corner there. Looks a little lonely. His experience as a grad student is nothing like the one I had. How does he even have time for that stuff? Fair point. Let's have a quick look at our stats. How are we doing as a level 4 proxy with a rating of 3.4? Woo! We still haven't filled out all of our badge collection yet. I've received some of these like time and time again as well. It doesn't show you how many. Okay. Time for the next client. Oh boy. Is it gonna be the poet girl again? Comic artist lady. Pot smoking granny. Come on. Oh, it's the comic book artist. Maya. Okay.
Hello, Maya. Thank you for coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could afford a real therapist, but this is just gonna have to do.
Oof.
Sorry, I don't know if you're sensitive to that or...
Why don't we get started?
Sure. So, I feel worse than before.
That's not good.
Definitely worse. I played the game you told me to with the meadows and stuff, and, it was nice.
Oh, it was you who had to go to the meadows.
But when I got back to the real world, everything was the same.
Did you expect it to alter the reality around you?
I don't know why you people think I can stand in a nice place for 15 minutes and that'll make things magically better. Am I wrong? Am I misunderstanding something here? It isn't making me more successful. It isn't giving me opportunities. I mean, I feel like I'm already in my mid-30s and I'm like running out of time to get established as an artist. And meanwhile, the people I know are being written up and celebrated and winning awards, and all I have is being jealous of them.
Where do you think these feelings come from?
It's the popularity. It's all a popularity contest, you know? It's like high school all over again. I hate it. I guess I'm just not that funny or pretty or catty enough to attract followers.
Again, we're bordering on the she's gonna fix all of this with a makeover. She is the embodiment of the start of a chick flick.
I mean, I work and I work and I work to make things, and I never get traction. And I have things to say, I really do. But when I open my mouth, it's like time stops. And time starts again when I've finished, so nobody reacts or anything. It's like a curse from mythology. And meanwhile, these other people my age, people younger than me, they're well on their way to these wonderful, fulfilling artistic careers.
See, I'd be tempted to say, you know, if you thought about doing a cartoon about yourself, you know, it might be a bit close to Daria, but...
And, I don't know, seeing that happen over and over again, it's making it hard to continue to be friendly with them. I really try to hold it back, but knowing all these people are way more successful than me, it's difficult. It's like a millstone around my neck, strangling me, drowning me. I can't stop myself, even though I know it's ruining things. I wish I could escape. I wish I could not care.
Wow.
But then something comes up again, and I'm trapped inside it all over again.
What's an example of something that comes up that causes this?
Well, there's one woman in particular everyone loves. And her work is... I don't get it. I don't understand. She gets so much money and support for this basic shit. And somehow everyone's predisposed to like her. I mean, maybe I do get it. I feel like people pay attention to her work, not because it's good on its own, but because supporting her feels like the right thing to do. The way she's aligned herself, it's like if you support her, it means you're cool, you're in with the cool kids. And if I'm not publicly supportive of her and generally tolerant of her mediocre work, then I'm the bad one. I'm the competitive bitch. I'm the bitter failure. Which I guess maybe I am. It's not fair. I hate that there's this part of me. It's such an ugly part. But it's there. It's there.
Do you think you would be better off without that part of you?
You know, I don't know. In the past, I probably would have said, no, it's important for me to have my sense of judgment, for me to know what good art is and what isn't. Now I'm wondering if maybe that hasn't been more of a hindrance than a help to me. Maybe I should just forget all that. Forget about trying to do this thing. I'm sick of trying and wanting. I'm sick of parties. I'm sick of art. I'm sick of the idea of art. I'm sick of my own art, which nobody likes. Not even myself. Something has to change. Something drastic has to happen to change things around. Oh, that reminds me. I got your message about revealing my data the other day, and I think, well, hell, maybe I'm fine with it. Just take it all.
Wait, what now? What?
Okay, Maya. It sounds like you're interested in participating in transparency mode. Let me know if you have any questions about how this mode works.
I don't know. I'm gonna let you look at my life, right? Everything?
Thank you for asking about transparency mode. Transparency mode is an experimental new feature for Eliza. It allows me to analyze your communications in order to help you better. To participate, you must grant me access to certain personal data. This includes your personal communications, such as email and chat histories. Sharing this data improves my ability to help you.
Some guy at the bar was yammering at me about how it's a terrible idea because they're gonna surveil me or something. But what the hell? I can't use my life history for anything. It's a ruin already. Please, do what you want with it. God, I feel like I'm donating my body to science.
Please confirm that you would like to enable transparency mode.
Yes, do it. Invade my privacy. Invade it like the Visigoths invaded Rome. I don't know why I said that. That was a really weird thing to say.
I did not understand your response.
I would like to participate in transparency mode.
Okay, Maya. I have registered you for transparency mode.
Cool. Wouldn't life be easy if all I had to do was follow your directions?
You're talking to an AI here. Don't encourage it to go all Skynet.
Like the lady sitting in the chair across from me.
Oh, thank you. You
I
recognize
envy
me.
you. I honestly do.
The terms of service and privacy policy are available in the Skanda service portal. Please read and review these documents carefully.
Yeah. No, for sure. I closely study every software user agreement I get.
Sounds familiar.
That's a joke. I really just click agree as fast as I can.
Thank you, Maya. We hope to see you back soon.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you for speaking with Eliza, your personal counseling partner.
We just kind of skipped the whole intervention thing. We're just going, yeah, can you just let us snoop on you for a bit? Wowzer.
Goodbye.
Whew. Okay.
Bye.
Oh, we've got a persuader badge.
Well, look who's got access to transparency mode all of a sudden.
The client asked for it by name. I guess she heard about it somewhere and wanted it. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, we don't really talk about it right now. It's a little sensitive.
You think?
It's possible Skanda contacted her directly. They recruit for the program from a pool of regular customers. Usually, transparency mode is only handled by the highest level proxies, since there's a lot of trust required there. But you were given access to it right after the request. It's a little odd. I wonder if someone at HQ hasn't taken a particular interest in your proxy career.
Or maybe Eliza just likes me.
It would, wouldn't it?
I never thought people would willingly open themselves up like this. Aren't there a lot of very private things in people's messages?
Yes and no. The truth is usually pretty mundane. People text each other, "Where are you? I'm by the elevator," way more than they share their deep, dark secrets. The critics who are always going on about privacy? Well, the important thing is that everyone participating in transparency mode specifically agreed to it. It's completely voluntary. We're upfront about what data we collect and how we use it so people can go in aware of the choices they're making.
That's good. I'd hate to see it misused.
Yeah, the media would jump all over us.
Yeah, you know, the media is the most important thing.
There are a lot of people who want to see us fail for whatever reason.
Because you're a big evil corporation.
Just something that happens when you try to change things. Some people get so used to their misery, they can't imagine it any other way.
But fundamentally, you're trying to make a massive profit off it.
Anyway, you should get an email about it, but transparency mode is really straightforward. It's even simpler than being a proxy, which is saying something. You just read a few messages and answer some questions. That's it. You can start it whenever you're ready.
Sure.
There it is. Compare this water to what was in the conference room at Skanda headquarters. Funny how there's an appropriate level of fanciness for everything. I'm sure Nora would have something to say about that. So, she really gave us permission to look at her messages. I feel like just a few years ago, even the idea of something like this would have been controversial, but she was fine with it. She wanted it. It's so grey out there. Yep. Ed Park Introduction to Transparency Mode. Dear Evelyn Nishino Aubrey, congratulations, you've been selected to contribute additional information to Eliza's learning corpus with access to a special feature called Transparency Mode. How Transparency Mode works. Number 1. You'll be presented with a snapshot of the client's personal communications. Review these communications and determine the client's mental state. Number 2. Eliza will also create a model of the client's mental state. Number 3. Eliza will ask a few questions designed to check its model against your understanding of the client. FAQ. Question. How do I know if I'm doing a good job at transparency mode? Answer. Carefully consider the material provided to you and sincerely answer the questions created by Eliza's model. Your input is valuable whether it agrees or disagrees with Eliza. Question. What privacy rules and regulations apply to the information I see in transparency mode? Answer. Skanda takes personal privacy very seriously. As a proxy, you have already agreed to a strong non-disclosure and other agreements to protect our customers' privacy. These agreements and protections also apply to information presented in transparency mode. Question. Does Skanda have the right to show me another citizen's private communications? Answer. Yes. Participating clients have signed waivers giving us permission to retrieve the information to better assist them as part of our ongoing research. Regards, Edwin Park, Eliza Service Director, Skanda Incorporated. End message. Oh, that was the other one as well. We got what's the persuader give us? Convinced a client to participate in transparency mode. Nice. Okay. Didn't really have to do a lot of convincing, did we? Just racking up those badges. Oh, and we're straight up with the transparency mode already. Oh. Okay, so it's her whole phone. I want to go look. This is uncomfortable already. I feel extra weird looking at her art. I don't. Come on. Down. What's Vido? Vido, is that for video? I don't understand how developers name apps. This is a rideshare app. I don't think I need to look at that. I need to know where she's been going. I'll stick to looking at the... Okay, I'll just do the chat and the mail. We've got Jen and Garrett. Let's go with Garrett. Nobody gives a fuck, please. So she's got a bag, she's a little logo, nice. Nobody gives a fuck. Please stop. I hate when you're like this. I'm just saying true things. Don't tell me to pretend everything's great. Nobody gives a shit. It's just a fact. I don't know how to help you when you're like this. I know. Nobody can. Have you thought about getting therapy? I'm in therapy. Okay. Sorry. I'm in therapy. I'm on medication. I did some VR thing where I stood by a forest by a creek. How does any of that make people care about my work? It doesn't change a fucking thing. Okay, look, I'm sorry you're going through a tough time. I fucking hate this. I'm sorry. You're not helping. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know how I'm supposed to help you. May I? Okay, well, yeah, she has somebody who's supportive, but she's just being a toxic, angry, depressed person. Okay. Now there's Jen. Did you see the new Forsberg thing? Yeah. I think he kind of sucks. LMAO, he does. It was boring and self-absorbed. Didn't do much for me. Why is he even a thing? Why does everyone love him? Right place at the right time, maybe. His friends run that press. He's on a podcast with them. One thing he's good at is having this image of being a genius, so people just assume he is one. He's so mediocre, though. I seriously don't understand it. I sink now into the space of forever. Like, what kind of crap is that? Seriously, it's so bad. Oh, and he socializes and gets out a lot, I think. He's like at every party, at least that I've seen. He's always there chatting people up. Well, fuck that. Why is the world this way? It's the world. I hate it. I remember being so glad to be over with high school. I didn't realize that all of adult life is just high school over and over again. Just a stupid popularity contest against idiots. Ugh. I know, right? I'm sorry you aren't feeling well. Drink soon? Yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah, def. Drinks, always. So, that doesn't really seem to be too bad. That one was absolutely horrible. That one was quite conversational. Right, now the emails. Your ride with Amadou updated. Thanks for riding with Amadou. Fare for 7.3 miles. Oh, is that 7.3 miles? 25 minutes. 26.11. Tip $10. Cleaning fee $150. Oh, note a $150 cleaning fee was added to this trip. Riders are responsible for incidents such as spillage of food and drink or unexpected involuntary regurgitation. The cleaning fee helps your driver maintain a clean, safe vehicle for other riders to enjoy. Thank you for using Balki. Balki, rideshare with class. Spencer Spruce Gallery. Oh, wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? It's cold and wintry now, but that can only mean one thing. Spring is surely on its way, and that means it's time to get ready for Spencer Spruce Gallery's annual Spring Showcase. Held in April, our Spring Showcase is famous for highlighting some of the best and most exciting up-and-coming artistic talent in the Puget Sound region. Stay tuned for more information, including the artist lineup, venue, and more soon, very soon. We are so incredibly excited to bring these incredible artists to your attention. For now, visit our website to take a look at the showcase in years past, as well as read interviews on what artists, curators, and fans have to say about this vital event. Rowan and the team at Spencer Spruce Gallery, from Rowan and the team at Spencer Spruce Gallery, Seattle, WA. Pair up. Who's hot? You're hot. You have 11 new messages on Pair Up. They love you. They really love you. In the past 24 hours, you've received 11 new messages on Pair Up. Here's a sample. I saw you're an artist on your profile. Congratulations. I love artsy chicks. Tell me more. Another one. Hi there, Unicorn Girl. I'm an artist too. What kind of art do you do? I'm primarily mixed media at the moment, using clay and plastic to make messed up looking creatures from your nightmares. Or hell. Ha ha ha. What about you? What are you into? Another one. You. There's more where that came from. Sign in to your account to see the rest of the messages. Pair Up, the only dating system with the wisdom engine. Nice, and that was from like before Christmas, before New Year, sorry. Okay. Thank you for your submission to the Spencer Spruce Gallery Showcase. Unfortunately, we feel your work is not right for the showcase, but we will appreciate taking the time to share it with us. January 6th. And then she started coming in complaining about her situation. Francis Soltero, Resaturation. Hi, Mayor. I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to pitch to us. Your treatment was engaging and thoughtful. This was a difficult decision for us, but ultimately we will not be moving forward with your project. Please stay in touch and keep us posted on what you're up to. It's always possible that we might work together in the future. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season and the new year brings you success. All the best, Francis, Lakewood Media. Re-query. Mayor, thank you for giving us the opportunity to read Saturation. It's not right for us, but we hope that you'll be able to find a home for it elsewhere. Happy New Year. Best wishes, Meredith Lakoff, comics editor. So she's had 3 knockbacks on successive days. Dear Maya, as one of our most valued customers, we would like to give you the opportunity to participate in a pilot of the new feature that has potentially to significantly enhance the level of counseling you receive from Eliza. This new feature involves voluntarily granting us access to some of your accounts, such as email and chat histories. Information from these accounts is then analyzed by Eliza to provide additional insight to your personality, character, and life situation. The data is processed independently of any personally identifying information and will never be shared with other divisions of Skanda or any third party, except in the rare event that we're required to comply with a valid subpoena or court order. For other information, including helpful FAQ, full terms of service, and privacy policy, please visit the Skanda support portal. Regards, Edwin Park. Okay, 25% off sale only today. Maya, our mission at Beacon Hill Press is to bring readers the best national and international sequential art and storytelling from established as well as emerging artists. Over our 10-year history, we have published some of the most lauded voices in comics today, including multiple Eisner and Ignatz winners. This dedication to quality doesn't come without a cost. We're dependent on our customers and patrons to make ends meet so that we can continue to help these crucial voices be heard. That's why for today only we're offering a limited 25% discount across all of our titles. Visit our store page to take advantage of this offer while it lasts. With your help, we can continue to bring you the best and most interesting new comic art. Beacon Hill Press. Okay. So she was getting sloshed on the 13th of December in the run-up to Christmas. But more recently, the chat with Garrett and the chat with Jen. Okay. Okay, so this is actually one of the most interesting things so far that we've had to do. It's a lot of reading, a lot of interpretation. So the conclusion here that Mayor is unhappy is going to be agreed with more on the back of what she was saying while she was in front of us. And the fact that, alright, she's had 3 things knocked back to her, fair enough. And part of me wants to say, well, it's only 3 rejections, get back on your hobby horse and get going, but of course they don't really want to make us read any more than they've already had to. That's already 8 emails, so okay. Mayor is attempting to become well known, yep. And Mayor's efforts to become well known are unsuccessful. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I like learning this much about someone I don't know. It makes me feel tired for some reason. Whoa. Ellen, hey, could I meet up with you again, like for coffee maybe? Something happened that I want to talk to you about. Sure. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I just want to ask something. I'll meet you wherever. What happened? Something at work. It's not a big deal, honestly, but I wanted your opinion on it, and I don't want to text about it. Dun dun dun. We're going secret squirrel.
Thanks for meeting up with me on kind of short notice.
Ooh, komorebi. Yes. The light dancing through the trees, that was the place. Interesting.
I didn't mean to worry you, it's just something I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
It's fine. What happened?
Well, what happened was... Where should I start? First of all, Raynor wants Eliza to be more than something that's used just for therapy. He sees it as more of a general system for talking to people, like a personal assistant. The counseling is just one of a whole range of apps he has in mind for the future.
I'm familiar with his thinking on that.
Okay, so in service of developing these things, Raynor wants us to make copies of Eliza's core data and hand it off to multiple teams around the world. Some of them not even Skanda teams. Contractors, vendors, random partners.
Oh.
Sounds like a big file to move around.
It is, but that's not the problem.
What's the problem?
Well, so we're fine with sharing Eliza with whoever wants it? Anyone just gets access to the corpus?
Sounds like a pretty typical process. That's how big companies work, isn't it?
I know, but it just feels wrong to let all these teams poke and prod at it like it's a specimen for them to dissect.
Hey.
Who knows what they'll do with it? Eliza is built from people's real thoughts and feelings. I wouldn't say it has humanity, but it was built from humanity. There's something there. So when Raynor talks about it like we'll just duplicate this data set and have the labs do whatever it is they're going to do, how do we know they'll treat it with the respect it deserves and not just pry it open? Slice it up into little pieces.
Alrighty then, so he's a little bit too attached to Eliza.
It bothers me. I know, it's silly. I know it's just data. I shouldn't care about this stuff.
Erland. This is the first time I've heard a concern like this raised. I know where you're coming from, though. Sometimes you grow attached to the things you work on. Like, really attached.
Yeah, I've put a lot of thought and work into Eliza since I inherited it. It's natural that maybe I'm a little protective, right?
Yeah, but you're the adoptive guardian.
I thought maybe you'd feel the same way.
Am I gonna go down the dark path of AI rights? Computers are people too? It seems a little bit far-fetched. Am I just gonna be cold and... She's not gonna be cold and callous. Evelyn is not that shut off, but maybe turning around and saying I left that all that behind. She's kind of, I'm doing me, I'm trying to figure out where my head is. Yeah, that works.
I left that all behind. It's turned into something I hardly recognize now.
I just wish I knew what to do.
What choice do you have?
I'm not sure. This is the first time something like this has happened to me. I did take an ethics of engineering course in school, but...
I'm in love with a computer.
The examples were all pretty clear-cut problems. Would you build software for a bomb? That kind of stuff. I didn't expect my personal feelings to be mixed up in it, too. Listen to me talk. Eliza being special, something worth protecting. I'd be a laughingstock if I started saying those things at the office. My coworkers would say, "Come on, Erland. Stop attributing human qualities to this piece of data. It's not the same thing as real people."
Because that's how people really talk in an office. Why, I had a very similar conversation earlier today.
It's just a corpus. That has nothing to do with the people that generated it. And besides, don't you want Eliza to help more people? This is how we get there. And who am I to argue with that? These are reasonable points. But I don't know. I think maybe something does live on. Even when you take the names out, even when you anonymize everything. People's stories are still inside there, in some form, in some way. I just want to make sure we have some respect for them.
Also, just slightly tangential to this conversation for a moment, but has anybody considered by setting this up as a counselling app, the only corpus that you're going to have is going to be severely fucked up? It's going to have every single one of the neuroses of every one of the clients, and no kind of smooth, measured, happy, clear thinking sort of head on its shoulders at all, at any point. all it's going to know is about how to be depressed and confused and upset and anxious and suicidal in some cases. It doesn't really seem like a very sensible model to start trying to build the first computer, the first like human intelligence on a machine. You're going to end up with Marvin the paranoid android. Maybe. Anyway, on with Erland and his relationship with Eliza.
Welcome to your first moral decision in tech, Orland. It certainly won't be your last.
It's not much of a decision. Like you said, I don't really have a choice. I just have to go along with it. I was so amazingly lucky to get this opportunity. Running the whole Eliza program almost as soon as I graduated college. Raynor took a big chance on me. I can't just walk away from that. Besides, if I left because of something like this, I'd be giving up all the ways I can make a difference by staying. Raynor isn't a bad person either. He's just pushing for his own goals. I need to see this through. I'll do what he's asking me to do. Sorry. Thanks for listening to me talk in this confused way. I'm usually more together than this. I've probably kept you from something important.
No, it's okay. I'd already finished up work for the day when you texted. People seem to assume I'm busy, but I'm really not. Not these days. Later tonight I'm going to visit a friend, but that's all I have going on.
Okay. Well, sorry.
You can stop apologizing, too.
Right. Right. Thanks, Evelyn. Well, I for one should get back to the office. Another meeting.
Is it with the team in Romania?
No, the Boston office this time. It's late for them, so I should try to get it done quickly.
Erland hurries off to his next meeting. Should I get some more coffee? Whoop. Ray is asking how your first transparency mode went. He's going to ask you after you finish, but I didn't see you in the office. Yeah, it went fine. It seemed to go fine, at least. Yeah? There weren't a lot of questions. I thought there'd be more. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's always very terse, and the questions are really short. I thought maybe you could tell me why. This feature came out after my time, so I'm not sure. If I were to take a guess, Eliza only needs human confirmation to make sure it hasn't messed up. It's like it already knows it has the right answers, which would make it rather advanced as a system. I don't know of any other program capable of something like that. Maybe Raynor is right. Oh, he's very about what? Oh, he's very upbeat about Eliza's capacity to understand humans and act like them. I'm not sure I believe that, but I guess it's impressive in some ways. Yeah, it is. I feel lucky. Lucky I get to be here and witness this revolution. And lucky I get to meet you too. I really enjoyed your company the other night. Yeah, I enjoyed yours. Yeah? Maybe you can come over again sometime. Gotta run. See you soon. Look at you making friends. I looked it up. Yay! Komorebi means the light filtering through the leaves. Yay, we did this when we were last at this coffee shop. Something you can see when the sun is out. Although looking at the reflection in the window, we've not got a lot of trees. I could stand to wear something with a little colour in it. And now we're going to obsess over the barista guy again. He asked for Erlen's name and wrote Aaron. Oh, now we're just going to nitpick at him. He should ask his customers to spell their names. Oh, that old joke. Cool. Time to head to Nora's place. I find what looks like one of Capitol Hill's older buildings. I wonder how much longer it'll be around. Lately it feels like everything's being replaced. Now you're starting to sound like the pot-smoking granny.
Hey! Sorry about the mess.
Flashy lights. It's a little messy, but not in a careless way. Just scattered. Lots of electronics everywhere.
Oh, it's fine. Not like my place is super clean or anything. Is this all music equipment?
Most of it. There are some controllers I was working on, too. I wanted to create this real-time control apparatus. You know, like that thing that Imogen Heap uses?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's a little fragile currently, so I need to figure out how to reinforce it. I wanted my version to react to changes in my body temperature, too, so it could get more excited as the set went on. Or maybe it would really get going if I had a fever. I like that idea. Turning sickness into art. Do you want anything to drink? Or I could set up a basic patch on the Euro rack for you to play around with.
I came to play with music. Let's do this.
A basic patch on the Euro rack.
Are you nervous? I think the best way to learn music is just diving in, all the way. If you're willing to experiment and play around, you will learn so much.
Oh, it's not going to let us play music. It's a bit much to expect, I suppose. I'm really here to visit with you. Or maybe later, yeah.
I'm really here to visit with you.
Okay. Well, sure. Let me see if this amp is still working. After the show, it went kind of a little strange.
Nora starts to tinker with some of the equipment.
Music technology is just like any other kind. You take the inputs and you translate them to the outputs. Once you learn the basic principles, it all just flows from there. Oh, that gives me an idea. You could take metrics from Eliza's sessions and have them direct a dynamic music score. Like if you took the head tilt value or the eye tracking and used them to drive the parameters of pitch and filter, it'd be like, ciao, ciao.
That doesn't sound like something a counseling client might want to hear.
Oh, no, I didn't mean for the client to listen to.
Oh,
I meant it
of
more
course
like if you were going to make like a performance art piece based on a person in counseling. You know what I mean?
I think I do.
I miss having access to those cameras and sensors. I should have kept some instead of returning them to Skanta like a good girl. I bet those components would have enjoyed being liberated for the purpose of art, instead of being used to degrade our humanity one little bit at a time.
It feels like I'm still of the it's true opinion, but I'm starting to peek like extra layers and extra stuff on top. That's maybe clever AI after all. Let's go with it's true.
It's true, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Sure, maybe this huge database of people's deep, dark secrets is going to be used 100% properly. Maybe it will always be kept completely safe, and we can completely trust Skanda to do the right thing, now and in the future.
Right, so I'm guessing this box up here is where she keeps her tinfoil hat.
10 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now. Sorry, I know you still might work there. I just have so little confidence in these big tech companies right now. They act like they have all the answers, instead of listening to people's concerns. And if you ask them why they aren't listening, they can't even explain the reasoning in a clear way. They just want to win. You've been a proxy for a while. I bet you've already seen some privacy mistakes. Or at least some things that made you think.
I was told that everything was legal.
Yeah, well, sometimes things are legal, but still wrong morally.
True.
That's an abuse of people's expectations, no? Is that really the future you want to help build? It's not even that I don't trust Raynor, even though I don't. I wouldn't trust anyone with a store of data like that. It wouldn't be so difficult for employers, government, anyone to combine different sources together and eventually learn everything about you. Everything. They'll know your face, your body, your medical history, and now everything you told the counselor in private too. It's kind of like a nightmare to imagine it. That's why I left. That's why I thought it was important for me to stop making a contribution to something like that.
You don't think I might be able to change things from within?
You don't think I might be able to change things from within?
If I still worked for Raynor and I said these things, I'd be called a troublemaker, and he'd find a way to get rid of me.
So you got rid of yourself?
You know how it works, Evelyn. You have to be a true believer to last long at a place like that. Once you develop doubts, you are committing heresies. Are you a true believer?
No, but I could pretend to be. He said something strange recently. He thinks Eliza could be the base for some kind of general artificial intelligence.
No. Strong AI? Really? Ugh, there's something about the books these guys read, the conferences they go to. Everything is so totalizing, so utopian. I think it messes with their brains. I don't think you could spend longer than a few days in a tech company executive suite before you completely lose touch with the real world.
What if it's true, though?
So what? What if it is? Say Raynor is right, huh? And Eliza becomes the basis for human-like machine intelligence. What does that mean for you? How do you want to take responsibility for that? Okay, I need a drink now. Hold your thought and let me make drinks.
Good idea.
You like absinthe, don't you?
Absinthe?
You'll like this. I promise.
Oh, this is gonna get messy. Time to show and tell. What are we looking for? Oh, kitty. Okay. Just these. Sequencer program. I wonder how you're supposed to know which sounds go together. Seems so both complicated and weirdly arbitrary. That's the one she said was a modular. I suppose they call them modulars because they're made out of modules. Modular. Doesn't feel like I'm making much progress here. Erland, thanks again for meeting me with me earlier. Sorry for being weird. Remember, you don't need to apologize. Right. What do you think of Raynor's future goals for Eliza? Like when he says if we gather enough data, it could become a general intelligence. I think we'll be able to fool people, at least. I'm not sure how you measure that for real, though. You're going to mention poetry. I'm supposedly a subject matter expert in this stuff. AI was my concentration in school, so I know the current state of AI is way behind where the public thinks we are. But when I listen to Rayner, I start to think what he says might be possible. It feels like reality can warp around him. Who's to say? Maybe I don't have enough imagination to see it like he can. Eliza does have extremely detailed data from thousands of clients. Speech, facial movements, expressions, people's descriptions of what life is like for them. I don't think a corpus like this has ever existed before in human history, and we keep adding to it, and it keeps getting better. So, in the future, maybe Eliza can simulate a human being at a general level, but when programs are indistinguishable from real people are common, how do you even define what's real anymore? You might never be sure a message came from a real human being again. I can't stop thinking about this. What if it comes true? What if Eliza becomes a sentient being? I'm not sure it's a real danger. It's not clear what you mean by those terms, though. How do you know that you yourself are sentient? Oh, you're just trying to mess with his head. I don't know. That's a good question now that I think about it. I could say that I feel conscious if I knew what that meant. But what's to prevent me from saying I feel conscious even if I'm only providing responses I think you want to hear? What if my own consciousness is an illusion I experience? I had not considered this. Wow, this is blowing my mind a little bit. Sorry. Philosophers have discussed this. Yeah, I should read some, I know. Thanks for not minding chatting about this. I don't mind. You sure you don't have any technical questions, though? This is more fun. But you're right, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Sorry for texting so much. Erland. Yeah, right. Oops. Thanks for listening. You're welcome. End of conversation.
Hey, who's that texting you so much? Has Evelyn found a special friend?
No, it's not like that.
Ah, too bad.
It's this guy named Erland. I guess he's the new head of engineering for Eliza.
Huh, I never heard of him. He must have started recently?
Yeah, less than a year ago. Right out of school.
Oh, wow. A little baby engineer. How cute.
Ever since I met him, he's been messaging me a lot.
My goodness, so he likes you.
I don't think it's like that.
No? Isn't that the textbook case of liking someone? Lots of messages all the time?
It's really more like he needs some kind of mentor figure. He reminds me of how we were when we graduated. Unsure what to think about the decisions these companies make, how they're made.
I hope you're telling him to run away while he still can.
Preach.
When he first introduced himself, he said he had questions for me about Eliza, so I said, sure, feel free to ask. I thought he meant, like, technical or architectural questions. Instead, he wanted to talk more generally about things like, what was the code name for Eliza during development? What was Damien like? Or if I think the same way Rayner does about Eliza's future.
And you told him, no, Rayner is clearly in some bizarro world, right? That it's a tech executive's utopian fantasy and it won't come to pass. At least not in the way he thinks.
I tried to encourage him to think for himself.
Ah, Evelyn. I could see what this is really about.
Oh?
Look, I don't know much about the motivation in your life, but if it's truly your desire to continue to improve Eliza, then you should go for it. Go back to Skanda headquarters and work for Rayner and earn a big salary. At least you know what you're getting into. You would be surrounded by smart people and advanced technology. It would be nice. I understand it. And while you're in that position, maybe you could develop some kind of next-level AI. Who knows, right? It's only that I can't imagine your technology will only be used for good things. Maybe Rayner promises that it will be. But do you trust him? What about the person who comes after him? What if the company merges with another one and the leadership changes? I wish I didn't sound so negative about this, but lately it's been a soul-searching time for me and my friends in tech. We have a lot of conversations about what we can do when our work is so easily used for morally questionable purposes.
Yeah,
Do we try to control how our inventions are applied? Is that even possible?
Kill switch.
Or do we say, we only invented it, we didn't tell you how to use it, it's not our fault?
What was the opinion of the people on the Manhattan Project?
That's why I envy you a little bit for wandering off like you did. Sometimes I think that's the only real solution, to walk away. I know that wasn't exactly a positive thing for you, Evelyn, but I wonder if it's the better choice in the end. Doing nothing at all.
Technically, I worked at a bookstore for part of the time. That's mostly it, though. It's weird. It feels like no time at all. I can hardly remember any of it.
For me, it's hard to imagine. I always have to be working and busy. I get so unhappy and restless if I'm not doing something all the time.
That there is still the matter of like this existential veneer over the top of all of this. That, you know, are we really there? Are we really enjoying what we're seeing? Are we actually? Is this just a big kind of tease that we're having to endure, where actually it's all going to be, and you wake up and you're in the lab, plugged into one of these electrical stimulation devices? It's kind of hinting that way all the time. And all of this stuff about you missing the last 3 years and how things have all moved on, you can't remember much of it. It's like, well, what's actually going on here? I'm not calling it right now, but it feels like an easy avenue that they could be going down. And I can't really tell whether I'll be happy if they've gone down that way with this story, or whether I'll be disappointed in them for taking what seems to be like a cheesy trope.
What is it like to do nothing?
Well, at first I tried to be productive. I would get up in the morning like I meant to go to work, get dressed, try to do a personal project or something. It didn't last for long. I told myself I just needed to take it easy for a while and unwind. Things at Skanda had been so intense and so emotional, I didn't even realize it. I felt like I'd been crumpled up into a tight little ball.
Okay.
I wasn't sure I'd ever be able to relax again. I wish I could say I took advantage of the time, that I went out and did things, or that I read a lot of books or something.
But you just wanted to stay in.
But I didn't. I started to sleep in, and I started to care less and less about working on projects.
No motivation.
I would stay in bed even though I was awake.
Yeah.
This blankness would come over me, and it just seemed fine to do nothing. All of the things I'd promised I'd do fell away, and other people kind of fell away too. I stopped keeping in touch. I let conversations die. I thought that my technical contributions to the world were over with, and that maybe I'd just work that bookstore job for the rest of my life. I was by myself, and I thought that was all right. I thought, that's how it is, really. Everyone's alone. I'm just being honest about it. I was 31 when I left Soren's group. Now I'm 34. I just slept into my mid-30s.
Scratch what I was talking about before.
So now here I am.
Nora reaches out and puts her hand on top of mine.
Evelyn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not saying something this whole time. I should have contacted you.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have done any good.
It's all right. You had to live your own life, right? You notice someone isn't posting and it's just like, maybe they're taking a break. I understand.
Well, I hope you feel better now. I suppose that sometimes it takes a while.
Maybe. I don't know what to think anymore. I'm not even sure I know how to think anymore.
Then forget it for now. Hey, Evelyn.
Yeah?
Where's that absinthe?
You want to get super high and watch cybergoth music videos?
See, I like you. You're a good friend.
You heard me.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, I do.
I knew you were a woman of refined tastes.
We ended up staying up very late. Nora crashed on her couch so I could have the bed. Maybe it was the unfamiliar environment, but I couldn't sleep that night. Questions without answers kept running through my mind. What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? And that is the somewhat sobering end of Chapter 4. True to tradition, I'm going to duck out now. That's quite a long session as well. Thanks for watching, guys. And I will be coming back to this again soon. If not tomorrow, I think I'll be on tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 9 PM. Alright, thanks for those who've been watching, and I hope to see you then. Bye-bye.